everyone, this is Joy Bell.
This is your good fella T Bell.
And this is the Life After Love podcast. Welcome back to our podcast. I don't think we
took a year off.
Pretty much. The pandemic took its toll on us. But we are back. And hopefully going to be consistent in 2021. So I'm just so excited. We miss you all.
Yep.
And so let's go ahead and get today started. I think we got to get back in the rhythm of things. But starting off with my inspiration, motivation moment, I just want to talk about Chandler Moore. Tyler knows that I'm in love with him. That is my bestie right now. If you don't know who Chandler Moore is, he is a young, amazing worship leader. He's so talented with music, and I'm just so in love with him right now. I'm in love with his love for God. That's just how powerful. I mean, not in love with him, but you know what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But he sings with Maverick City, and so they do a lot of praise and worship. But just his anointing and I don't even know how to put it into words. You just have to check it out. And he has like a new project out called Feelings, but he has a song called I Was Built for This. And so that's my motivational moment today is I was built for this. If you get a chance to listen to the song, he sings it with his father. I believe that's his dad. Mm-hmm. And I like it because, for me, 2020, like the end of 2020 was really, really rough. It just started gradually going downhill. But the song was just saying you were built for whatever situation or whatever storm you're going through, you were built for it. And when I think about it, I just think that it would be motivating to know that God specifically built you for situations. Like he handcrafted you. He put a little patience, a little kindness, a little strength, a little whatever he did for each individual. We're all differently, but yet we're all equal. Mm-hmm. And so just whatever situation that you're going through, just know that you were built for it, that you will get through it, but you have to lean and trust and depend on God. So that's my motivational moment for today. You have a rant?
Yep. Kids are expensive and they be wasting stuff. Why I say that? I cleaned out their car. Well, not really cleaned out, but I kind of picked out the crumbs and the particles in their car seats. Man, I found all kind of crackers, cookies, fries from all kind of different places, some chicken strips, some nuggets, some pieces of burgers. I found a whole meal in their car seats, and they be complaining. Every time they want to get up, talking about eat. I want to eat. I was
milk.
Like, yeah, milk. I want milk. And I was like, bruh, y'all got a whole meal in these car seats. This is why y'all be hungry. Y'all be wasting food. And then every time, y'all see, I just had to get my broom because every time they eat, I either got to wipe them down or I got to clean the floor, sweep the floor. Man, I got tired of breaking my back. But yeah, man, if they ate just as much as they wasted, our grocery bill would probably be much lower. That's my rant for 2021.
It's the joys of parenthood. You'll never get those moments back.
You right.
So we want to start out really easy this year because we did miss you all in whole 2020. Just talking about what 2020 has taught each of us and then what we're looking forward to in 2021. I don't think we have resolutions or anything of that nature, but just what we're looking for into 2021. Although 2021 has started off with a bang, I will say. But do you want to go first?
I'll let you go, ladies.
Okay, so we'll start off with what we learned in 2020. I feel like there were so many lessons learned in 2020, but the most valuable lesson that I learned in 2020 is how do I put it? Pretty much enjoying the moment. Mm-hmm. Don't look forward to something else or don't spend time regretting on the past, but just enjoying the moment.
Like you said when we first started dating, just enjoy the moment.
You trying to say that to be
I'm
funny?
Just saying that's what you told me. Let's just enjoy the moment. Don't worry about committing. Just enjoy the moment.
No, that's not the same. But just enjoying what you have, because you just never know when you won't have it. You never know when it will be taken away from you. So, you just can't take things for granted. So just enjoying the moment. And I haven't really put anything on social media, but I lost my grandmother. in December 6th. I believe that was the date of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And it just really taught me, just enjoy those moments. Even in her last days, just enjoying the moment that I had with her. And don't take it for granted. Because, I'm always looking about, Christmas coming up and I have to do this tomorrow and I have
got
to.
past Thanksgiving. I was already trying to get to the next holiday.
So, but you can't take these moments for granted because you'll never get that time back.
Mm-hmm.
And
just like COVID with your kids.
Yeah. So just, if you don't, he's going to interrupt me every time I say something. So he messed my train of thought up.
That's what I do.
But just enjoying the present, living in the present, living in the moment, because we just always focusing on what's next, or we always living in regret of what we didn't do. And so I just think it's important that we just live in the moment. I don't know how else to put it, but when you have that opportunity to spend time with people, or when you're doing something that you're passionate about, just sit in that moment and reflect on it and just really appreciate it, instead of just always thinking, keeping your mind busy, always wondering what you can do next or what you can do better, or what you want in life, but just appreciating, staying in the moment, reflecting on that moment, reflecting on, what you're doing at that exact moment, because it's really, really precious. And it's just, time is one thing you can't get back. It's not something you can make up. It's just time that you have. So using that time wisely, just to enjoy what you're doing. That's what I learned in 2020. What about you?
A great prophet actually said,
"Oh Lord,
what's next while we wait?"
Who
Might
said
just
that?
drop the tape.
Drake.
He had to do it again. No, Sir Crank. But
oh my God.
But in 2020, I learned that I made my job my life, and it wasn't. You know how they say, the job is a resource, not the source. So I will put everything for the last 3-4 years, or at least when I went to night shift, everything in my life surrounded around my job. For those who don't know, I used to work night shift from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. At first, it was okay, because I first went night shift like June-ish, July-ish of 2017. But you would
No, probably October when we moved to the first house.
Okay, so I went night shift towards the end of 2017. From then on, from October until this past October 2020 is when I left my nighttime position. At first, it was okay, but it wasn't as bad because it was just me and Joy. But Joy was pregnant, and one of the worst things, at least while Joy was pregnant the first time, was not being able to, sleep next to my wife and wake up next to her, and we was on different schedules. I'm going to sleep, she getting up, getting ready to go to work. But then we had one child. It was kind of rough because, on top of not being able to spend time with my wife, now I got to spend time with my son, or can't spend as much time with my son, and I'm always groggy or tired or whatever the case. Once baby number 2 came, it just kind of became more straining, and then pandemic hit, so it wasn't like my kids wasn't in daycare anymore, and Joy was working from home, and the bad part was Joy always ended up getting the short end of the stick, because 7 a.m. hit. As soon as 7 a.m. hit, the kids up, and Joy got to still work, and that's normally the time I go to sleep. And it was just, after so many months and weeks went by, it was just like, all right, we had to have many conversations. It was like, all right, this not working. And Joy, she would make sure I knew, you need to find something else. You need to do something else. So it just got to the point where I was just like, okay, I'm not really able to spend time with my kids. Like, I would spend maybe like 2 or 3 hours with them. But it wasn't, now that I look back at it, it was really like watching them, not spending time with them, because I was always so tired. The last few years, each holiday, I'd be have to stay up and work the holidays. I'd be having to rush from spending time with family to rush back home. Like, everything, like we would try and do, or Joy would want to do something, it all surrounded around, I can't do it, or I don't want to do it. I have to get home and get some sleep because I have to work tonight. And it was taxing. I say it was taxing. I know Joy was like, yeah, it was taxing, because she would be the one watching the kids. If I'm asleep, like, I would try and get 4 hours of sleep at least, because if I sleep longer than that, I feel bad because she's stuck with him and she can't get any work done. You know, you just repeat, and it just went on for so long. Where with 2 kids, it was just like, all right, some got to give. Especially with COVID, it was just like, okay, we can't last like this, because we really didn't have time for us, because I was so tired all the time. The little energy I had was like, all right, I don't want to go nowhere. I just want to sit around and watch TV. And if I let Joy tell you, she'll go on and on about it. But I just tell you, 2020 taught me that I had to stop leaning so heavily on my job, because there will be opportunities to do things, you know, whether go film with somebody or go out, hang out with people. And I'd be like, nah, I don't want to do it because I got to work or I got to be home. Now, my job offered flexibility to come in an hour later, make it up. But I was always like, I got to be home 10 p.m., 2 p.m. I can't do nothing else. And Joy would be like, let's go here at 7. I was like, no, because I got to get home by 9 because I got to get a nap. And it just was I was just like on a spinning wheel doing the same thing. You know, it wasn't like we were just like balling in money from the job. It was just like, okay, I'm leaning heavily on this job. I got to do this. I got to be here on time. And Joe was just like, nah, this ain't working. So I had to keep telling it didn't hit me till maybe like last August. I was like, wow, what was August? It was towards the end of the year. And I was just like, wow, I really based my whole life around this job, and I don't do anything because I'm so focused on trying to do this job. So I just had to learn the job was not my life. I gave my job too much of my life. Not my time, but too much of my life. And a lot of stuff I put off or I didn't do because I would say I have to work. So, yeah, that's what I learned in 2020. Your job is not the source. It's a resource. And that job will replace you if you quit. Man, 30-something people quit while I was there. And they kept on moving like nothing happened. I'm sure when I left, they replaced me.
Health problems and all.
Yeah, they don't care about that. Now, she ain't talking about me health problems, but she just saying health
people
problems.
People had health problems at the job.
Yeah, and it was to the point where I was just like, I don't want that to be me. You know, some people be like, yeah, I've been here 5 years, 10 years. I just knew I was going to be there 1 year, but I was just like, man, I just couldn't. We just couldn't stay on that track and function as a family if I would have kept working night shift. So, yeah, your job is not the source. It's a resource. But don't give your job your life because you're replaceable. T-Bell out.
So, can you go ahead and start and tell us what you're looking forward to 2021 since you're on the road here?
I am looking forward to being a better husband and being a better father. Yeah. I told you I want to be, I probably said this a podcast ago, but be more emotionally available and understanding to your needs. And in turn, also spending time, you know, in the midst of COVID, this is time to spend time with your kids, even if they're not, you know, since they're not in daycare, but not just watching them. Like, all right, y'all go watch TV. I'm just sit here, make sure y'all don't kill each other, y'all don't break nothing. But actually, you know, interacting with your kids, bonding with your kids, actually spending time with them and spending time with you, because, and of course, once they aren't here, once they're gone, you know, just be me and you. It's like you pour so much into everything else, but if you don't pour anything into your foundation, which is your marriage, then it's like, okay, I don't have nothing else to give. Or you wake up and like, who is this person I'm laying next to? But making sure, as a husband, be more emotionally available and understanding to your needs, and being more patient and spending more time with my children. That's what I expect in that's what I'm looking forward to and working on in 2021. Also, I'm working on, I didn't tell y'all, but if you watch this podcast, you're going to know. So last year, October, when I quit my job in the midst of pandemic and working and then doing my Rocky Hills media business, October was the first time I went full time doing my own media business. And I actually, in the midst of everything that was going on, was able to increase my net from Rocky Hills Media. I actually made more, not even doing big projects in 2020. I made more in 2020 than I did in 2019. In 2019, I was out filming, doing big projects and photo shoots and all that kind of stuff. And I actually made more last year. So that actually also taught me that God is the source, because, you know, you lean on the job, 2-week paycheck, and you just look for him to make a way. But this is teaching me now in this season that growth is, you know, it's always an option, because you only are as limited as you tell yourself. And once I told myself that the job is not going to be the only way I can provide for my family. Of course, 2-week paycheck, that's good, but growing my business is what I'm working towards in 2021. But I was just glad to reach that milestone at the end of 2020 to be able to make more doing smaller projects, because we'll talk about little rain, big rain, but one day. But small projects equal more money in 2020 for me. Over to you, champ.
I don't know if you realize, like, you talk about, I'm sorry, this is so off subject.
You are talking,
but
though,
you talk about Mrs. Kev on stage using her hands, and you do it.
I don't do this and all that.
But
I do.
You use your hands a lot.
I do like this and preacher hands.
So, what are you looking for as far as, which thank you for the grace of God for that that testimony. But what are you looking for to 2021 with Rocky Hills Media? Or the real T-Bill?
Doubling my income, because it's possible.
Did you rub your nose against
my nose was itching, my hands was down here. Yeah, doubling my income, learning more skills and techniques, and being more creative, stepping out of my comfort zone, doing I want to do more things that require more action shots or moving, not just like interviews. That interviews are cool, but stuff that forces me to take the camera off the tripod and do more creative shots and create more things that force me to step outside my comfort zone, because those are the projects that pay.
And you have to practice while you're waiting, but it's on the way. Amen.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying you can do action shots now.
You're right.
You don't have to wait.
That's why I did
project.
the video when I was outside.
It was nice too.
Thank you. But I gotta do more. I know.
Yeah. So what I'm looking forward to a lot of things. So I did a vision board this year, which I'm so proud of myself. I've done vision boards before. I think I did like 10 vision boards in 2020.
Yeah.
They were like all over the house.
At first they was up. Then after a while I was like, man, we need to clean this up.
Because I had so many different. They were incomplete. They just weren't. It was never a full, complete vision board. You know, I think the best one was the one we did, the couples vision board, but none of them were completed, like, at all. But I took the time to do a vision board because I truly believe that you have to have something to look at to motivate you every day, to know what you see the goal that you're looking towards. At least that works for me, because I can have 50 million things on my mind and then I can get sidetracked very easily. So I did work on my vision board, and so I have so many things that I'm looking forward to in 2021. I can't list them all because we'll probably be over an hour on the podcast. Is your nose still itching?
Every now and then it do.
Oh my gosh, just scratch it.
The mic feels softer.
So some of the things that I'm looking forward to in 2021. Well, this is not like I don't want to say this is a vision, but this is a desire of mine. So, you all can hold me accountable. One thing I have talked about, I think I've talked about this before Tyler and I have been married, which our anniversary was yesterday and we celebrated 4 years. Whoop, whoop. But I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And I've said this every year to Tyler. I'm going to learn how to play the guitar, and I don't even have a guitar. I don't own one. I haven't searched to see how much it costs. But I've taken the first step and reaching out to Danny.
That was like 2 years ago.
No, I reached out to him this morning to find out what guitar I need to get to start learning the lessons on how to play the guitar. So 2021, y'all, on this podcast, I'm claiming it right now. I will be playing and singing the song with my acoustic guitar by the end of 2021. Okay. So I'm excited about that. But the thing I'm most excited about is walking in faith. There's two things. First, walking in faith, because I'm excited about that, because that's something I've been praying about, just increasing my faith. And I know you only need the size of a mustard seed, but I want more than that faith.
What you want?
I don't know. I want size of earth faith. The size of the earth faith.
That's the best you can come? Okay.
The earth is big. Can you imagine anything bigger than earth?
I don't know.
I mean, there's a planet that's bigger, but I don't know. So earth is big faith to me. But I just want big faith. And I've just seen what little faith, like I feel like I have faith smaller than mustard seed sometimes, unfortunately. Sometimes I feel like I have more, but it depends on the situation, which it shouldn't be like that, but I'm just being transparent and honest. But I feel like I've had little faith, and I've seen the work that he's done already, and it blows my mind. Like, I'm in awe of what he does with little faith. Mm-hmm. So I just want to live in faith, walk in faith, because oftentimes I walk in fear. A lot of times I'm scared of what people will think, or if it doesn't work out. It's just so many things go on in my mind that make me fearful, and I don't want to walk in that anymore, because I truly believe that everything that I want is on the other side of the fear that I have. If I can just get over that, it's so many things God will want to do. So I'm looking forward to that. If he said it, I believe it. So that's why I can walk on my faith, in that. And the second thing that I'm looking forward to, like my word for 2021, I've never had a word before, but my word for 2021 is love. And that's like self-love, loving me, showing my family love, showing my friends love, and even those who I don't know, just showing love. That's one thing that, I feel like my grandmother showed was love. Mm-hmm. No matter how she was treated, no matter how she felt, you felt love, and you knew the love was real. And it didn't even have to be like, I think a lot of times we associate love with like, oh, you gave me something, so you love me. But it could be so simple as when you cry, they just listen, or just saying the right words, or just checking on someone, or just being understand. Like I saved her voicemails, and I know she know. Sometimes I would just be tired and have a lot to do with the kids, but she would leave a voicemail and just be like, I was just calling to check on you, you don't have to rush and call me back, but just give me a call when you get a chance. But being understanding, mm-hmm. and just showing love in everything that you do, in your behavior, in your words, in your actions, being thoughtful of people, and being giving. And of course, I feel like that starts with using God's love as an example. I think that's what she did. It was the most human form of God's love that I've seen. And so it inspired me to want to do that in 2021 and beyond. So I'm easy to cut people off. I'm easy to get agitated. I'm easy to I don't know. I don't always show love like I should, but I'm hoping in 2021 that it will get better. Because love is, what's the one? Love is patience. Love is kind. All those different words in Corinthians. All the love. That's what I'm hoping to show in 2021. I'm excited for the opportunity to show it. I feel like God has already given me opportunity starting in 2020 mm-hmm. with ways to show love. And it's not easy. Let me say, sometimes you show love, you just be like, Lord, how do you love us despite our actions? Because, you try to do it with other people, and you just be like, I'm just amazed at how people can react. But regardless, you still have to show that love. And just remember the grace and love that God shows us, even when we don't deserve it. So regardless of that, regardless of what's going on, regardless of how people may or may not receive the love that I give, I still want to show the love, because that's important to me. That's important to God. And I think it builds, character. And I'm hoping that one day my kids will see what I saw in my grandmother and want to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Because I just feel like, I know it's when people say it all the time, a cliche, love conquers all, but it really does. Mm-hmm. And it might not happen overnight, but with time, it's so much stuff you can do with love. As Auntie Jackie told me, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Mm-hmm.
So all them times we was trying to catch flies with vinegar, we should have been putting in honey.
You don't have no sense. So anyways, that's what I'm looking forward to in 2021. As far as, well, I don't have a business. Like Rocky Hills Media. Well, I guess,
But you have a ministry that you need to tap into.
So I do want to start back my singing videos. It's just, scheduling time, making time. And I think with my guitar lessons that I'm going to want to do it because Kev on stage been taking guitar lessons and it really makes me jealous. Because I'm like, I've been talking about this for years. Mm-hmm. Well, not really jealous, but it pushed me to be like, there's just no excuse. And let me tell you how I know I'm supposed to be taking guitar lessons. I look at CNN every day. And one of the articles, and it was a real CNN article, it was saying that you can get these guitar lessons, you pay for them, and they're all virtual, but how good is, and it's only $29. And I was like, what is the excuse? The whole, it's like pre-recorded, and it's like the guy is so, he's just so good. He breaks it down, and he has like boards to show you, and he shows you with his fingers like placement on the guitar and stuff like that. And it was like, it's only $29, but you come out like really, really knowing the basics of guitar. And you always have an excuse. So I was like, man, first, okay, I got to pay somebody every time I go. I got to leave the comfort of my home. And I do think I'm still going to need to take lessons because I want to be great. I don't want to just be good at anything. But the basics, the foundation is there. There's just no excuses. So I do want to learn to do that. And then I do want to do my praise and worship videos. And I do want, one of my goals is to try to get with Maverick City. Which I know what to do because my cousin Janessa sent me the stuff. So it's just me putting it into action. One of the things is writing a song. So I need to write a song. But I do want to do that. Why did you say okay? When I just said I want to do Maverick City. Because Chandler Moore? I don't have a crush on Chandler Moore by any means. I just love his passion for worship. Because I see a lot in him what I want to do. But anyways, and then as far as my job, I just want to be more, I want to be more, let's see, I want to do more in the community. I want to do more awareness, making people aware of what's going on, which part of that would be me bringing it into the podcast a little bit, which we'll talk about in the next podcast. Mm-hmm. But just, I guess, more looking at my job as my assignment from God. So, when you do that, you look at work a little bit different.
Because it ain't work.
Right. So just that's something I want to do as far as work related. And as far as family related, I just want to pray and read the word more as a family. Like I pray for my kids, but I want to pray with them. Like even because I've noticed, like even we say grace, and Jackson now, which we haven't really talked about, but Jackson is in speech therapy. And so he's learning to speak more. Like he's speaking a whole lot more, but he still has the gibberish. Like he's still like, you can tell when he don't know the words to say. He'll just just kind of babble. But he pays attention because we say grace with every meal. And so we'll put the food down. He'll be like, thank you, God. The food, the body. Amen. And so I was like, oh my gosh, even though he's watching. And Kennedy, she don't say it at all, but she just, amen. Amen. As soon as we say thank you, Lord, amen. So it's just important to me. It's not too early to start, with your kids, like praying with them. Like I've prayed for them plenty of times. I put the oil on them and, they scrawling all like, when you putting the oil on them or whatever. But I just want to pray with them, like setting the example, doing it, getting on the knees, praying with them. So that's something that I want to do more, and using the baby Bibles that they have, because attention like this, but using the baby Bibles to kind of just talk about the little stories with them and stuff like that. So that's all I had for today.
Okay. You done?
I'm done. So.
Okay, so you remember this section. In this corner, you have a like button. In that corner, you have a share button. Pick one or do both. Because if you like this podcast, we back. You should be excited. We're excited. This is our first podcast we done in a year. We made it through the pandemic. Why not be excited about it? So, if you like this video, if you can relate in any kind of way, if you have anything to add to this video, make sure you like this video, share the video, comment on the video, and follow the page. We're still trying to get the community up at The Real T Bell. We're trying to be more consistent working on this thing. Make sure we get the news out there to the people that's watching. And we actually be having people that watch, and we don't even be knowing who you is. We have people, we done had a couple of people actually come up and say something about the podcast, and we was like, we didn't know you was watching, because you don't comment. But if you're gonna watch the podcast, make sure you comment. Let us know what you think, because we care about what you have to say.
That's all I have. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And until next time, I have been your man, T Bell.
And this is Joy Bell, and this is the Life After Love podcast. Bye-bye.